Hi there, chickadees. Welcome to my channel. My name is Liana. This is Bunny. Say hi, Bunny. She's gonna do a lot of that in the background. I'm so excited. This is my first ever video for YouTube as far as starting my own channel. And so I just want to introduce you to everything that I'm trying to do here. This channel is where you come for all that spirituality and all of those good, yummy goodies kind of things. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a bit embarrassing, at least on my part. So I have for you today, I have maybe 1 or 2 short stories about my kind of experiences with love. And just to kind of introduce you to myself, today though, the primary guest on today's show is going to be the rose quartz crystal. Wow, look at that beauty. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. She's everything. And she's serving everything to those who will listen and take heed of her lessons that she has to give. But first, again, let me get into a little bit about me. I live in Texas. I'm 28. I'm doing my own things, pursuing school and these kinds of things, and it's really interesting, kind of not. A lot of reading, a lot of writing, totally fine. This channel is about spirituality and kind of coming into that awakening. It's the era, okay? This is the time to wake up, people. We got Stay Woke, we got Get Out, we have all kinds of references to waking up and realizing what's going on in today's society, in our world. And it's beautiful. It's a great time to get to know yourself better, get to know others better. And I'm excited. This channel is kind of going to be following that line of thought and progression into the future. And it starts here with meditation and crystals and fun stories about love. Slightly embarrassing stories about love. So let me go ahead and start you out today. Again, quartz crystal. Now, this beauty here, everybody, this beauty here, she is kind of basically what brought me into my spiritual journey, partially. I actually began doing a lot of meditation. I had some crazy stuff going on, you guys. I'm not going to get into it all right now. We're just starting to meet each other. It's a little intense to be starting out with such serious talk. But just know, it was kind of like a series of unfortunate events that happened to me. I actually really love this piece right here because it looks kind of like a heart. And it broke into that shape after I dropped it several times. Accidentally. Anyway, so meditation kind of came to me because I really needed it. I was at a point in my life where I was doubting my abilities academically and in my career, and just everything was kind of falling out. Why am I sweating, bro? Nerves, excitement, that's what it is. Everything was falling out of my control. I completely had very little trust for people and for men, especially in my life. And it was just time for me to come. It was coming to a head, whether I wanted it to or not, essentially. I basically had a breakdown in my car at like 12 a.m. after a double shift from my job in the parking lot. And it came to a head, let me tell you. All of everything I'd been feeling and locking away and ignoring just came pouring out of me. It was crazy. But let me tell you about this. There's something cathartic about letting it all out, letting it all go, releasing all of those bad thoughts and emotions and feelings that be trying to push you down, okay? I don't know where that accent came from. Don't worry about it. The point is that I had a moment of clarity where I was just like, you know what? I need to be taking care of myself a little bit better. I need to be doing something about the spiritual side of me that I've been kind of ignoring and putting aside. I need love. Bunny needs love. We all need love. So today in my red, I'm bringing you the love. And so is rose quartz, honey. Let me tell you. Rose quartz is just, I mean, look at her. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's shiny. She's all about love. And the thing is with rose quartz that, well, first let me go ahead and let me put a disclaimer in here. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm also not a licensed physician. So if you are having issues, serious problems, anything that I talk about today, make sure that you check the link I will put in the description, a link to a hotline where you can discuss serious concerns that you're having in your life, or if you're just feeling overwhelmed. And if it's anything outside of that, I would definitely recommend seeking professional help for your needs. It's always good to go to a professional first, and then these kinds of things, meditation with crystals and those kinds of things, can come after you've dealt with the serious major thing. So rose quartz is all about the love. So the love, for those of you who are aware or not aware about chakras, that's all gonna be right here, sis. It's all gonna be right here. This is the heart chakra. Let me stand up and show you. This right here is the heart chakra, right up in here. This right here, that's the heart chakra. So that's where all of the things dealing with heart problems. So if you have arrhythmias, high blood pressure, those kinds of things, this area is the energy source that kind of handles and deals with all of those things that happen. So rose quartz gets in touch with the heart chakra here, and it kind of vibrates low frequencies of healing and love that help to open and heal that heart chakra. Rose quartz does for you is get you in touch with the self. It's all about self-love. So meditating with rose quartz, it's gonna help get rid of those negative energies, those negative emotions, all the things that are stopping you from loving yourself, loving others, being open to love, loving unconditionally, and doing those kinds of things. It's gonna flush out your system essentially with all of that BS. And let me tell you, that's not always easy to deal with, okay? I mean, sometimes I'll meditate with this, especially if it's been a minute. I'll meditate with this, sis, and it tries to flush everything out. Everything, like when I was holding everything in, and then suddenly it just all came to a head, and I just had a whoosh, better out than in. That's what it does. It says goodbye. We don't need the self-hate. We don't need the self-loathing. We don't need the jealousy. We don't need the envy. We don't need the anger at your mom for not being there when you needed her the most. We don't need the anger at your friend because she's with your ex or whatever. You know, whatever the case may be, whatever your situation is, it's gonna get rid of those things that are stopping you from being happy and in love with yourself. And the thing is about that is once you start getting that love back in here with number one, your number one player right here, then you start bringing in love from others. So it's kind of like the law of attraction, or however you, whatever theories they have out right now. I think they were calling it The Secret or whatever, but it's essentially the law of attraction. So the law of attraction essentially states that if whatever energy you're putting out, it will essentially come back to you. And people have been saying this since the dawn of time, right? I mean, hello, that's what karma is all about. Like good and bad karma. What you put out, you get back. You reap what you sow. These are some of the phrases that we've heard if you're my age, like, you know, at some point in your life. And it's true. If you put out positivity, if you're putting out love, the likelihood that you're going to get that back is very likely. So I was like in a weird headspace about dudes before I started looking online for dudes. And then I changed my perspective. I started doing meditation. I fell in love with rose quartz, and I went back to Tinder. She went back to Tinder. Yes, I went back to Tinder. And I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. Girl, Tinder is not the place you're going to be meeting the man of your life or the man of your dreams or the man of really anything except a one night stand. I totally hear what you're saying, but that happened to be not the case for me. definitely had to go through a few suspect dudes. Let me not lie about that. I definitely had to do that for a bit. But it was literally like meditating, and I was like, you know what? Look, universe, God, Jesus, whoever wants to hear me right now, listen. I am open to love right now. I love myself. I am open to letting myself love someone else now, and I'd like to see what it's like. You know, I've read a lot about it. I've seen a lot about it. I have other forms of love in my life. I would like the love of a man. Let me see what I can get. And 3 days after doing that, boom, I found my first true love ever on Tinder. And it was just kind of like kismet from that point on. And it was beautiful. And honestly, to be completely honest, I didn't stay. We basically were together for 2.5 years and then we broke up. But because we both loved each other so much and we had a great deal of care and love for one another in that way, we both kind of came to the conclusion or understanding that in order to hold on to that love, that maybe it's better if we step away from each other right now. At least right now, it's not working the way it should be working. And let that be a lesson to everyone, because the reality is, it doesn't matter how much you love someone, and it doesn't matter how long you've known them, how tight they are with your family, how much money they got, how good they are in bed. It doesn't matter any of those things. If you're finding yourself more sad than happy or anything like that, then you really have to reevaluate what's kind of going on. Because I was at the point where I was constantly stressed out and just worried about things that I really shouldn't have had to be worried about. And he was stressed, and we both were kind of like, we need to step back, take a breather, walk in love, and find out what's best for us. And we did. And for that time period, it was to break up and just be friends. And we're still friends. I talked to him yesterday. It's cool and it's good. And the thing is, I learned so much. Every relationship I've learned so much. And that one taught me what I really need in a relationship, what I don't need in a relationship, and it told me that I can love, which before meditating and doing all these things, I didn't really think I could ever love anybody. Honestly, I just felt like love was kind of like a fantasy that you read about or you see in a book, but in reality, people either die, leave you, or like use their love to hurt you in some way. And so that wasn't the case in my situation, and I didn't let the fact that my boyfriend and I, my ex and I didn't work out, stop me from being open to meeting new people. And since him, I have met someone else, although they are also just my friend, but they're a good friend that I'm starting to know. And I feel that even my other relationships are starting to bloom a little bit more, some other friendships and stuff, now that I've been working back with Rose Quartz, because I forgot about her. You know, but she loves me and I love her. Anyway, Rose Quartz is amazing, you guys. Flushes out those negative energies, gets you kind of prepared for love in a really cool way. And I hope that you can find love within yourself. And in doing so, the loving of others will come with that. You know, you'll find love. You'll find these things that, these people that care for you as much as you care for them. And it's a beautiful thing when you find that. And it's not easy. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not easy and it's scary, but if you can work through the fear and all of those things, it generally speaking is worth it. Not always, but generally. And as long as you got the love for yourself, it doesn't really matter, you know, because you know you're always gonna be set. You've always got a home base to come back to. You've always got a home to come back to, and that's you know, and the love that you have for yourself and for like your family or God or whatever you love deeply about. They will flush out your system, so just be aware of that. If you're not ready to love, you might want to hold off on rose quartz, because rose quartz is going to take you there, honey, whether you ready or not. You going on a ride. Okay. Anyway, so thank you again for tuning in and watching my channel, my show, being here with me and feeling the love. Do you feel the love as I feel the love? I love you. And I say that and I mean it. I love you. Love yourself, okay? Love yourself as much as I love you, if not more. You should definitely love yourself more. But anyway, that's it for rose quartz. Let's say goodbye to the beauty that she is. Bye, rose quartz. Okay, so this is a crystal kind of series, and essentially it's gonna continue like this. It's gonna have crystal, it's gonna have a theme. This one was about love, hence all the red. Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to talking to you next time. Bye.